For a family portrait.
Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Rob. I'm here. This is Everything Star Wars. I'm here, you're there, and with me today I am honored to have my internet brother and sister. That's right, I don't know what I do without these two. I love them so much. Tommy Juice is to my right. To the bottom, you're going to see All About Nerd. That's Roro. Love these two. If you haven't checked out their channels, hopefully they'll post the link in the comment section below. They are great people. So Tommy, tell the fans, everybody here, whoever watches, tell them all about your channel and what you do and what you show, my friend.
Under pressure. Hi guys. How are you? My name's Tom. But I gave my YouTube channel the name of Tommy Juice when I started. My channel's pretty much about I enjoy live streaming. I love hanging out with people. A lot of people, they go to the pub to hang out with people, or they go out and do things. I live stream because I love hanging out with you guys, with the guys that come to the chat. I've loved live streaming games, new games, old games, but I'm going to be hopefully taking things a little bit further as I'm getting a PC soon. So it's exciting times.
So real quick, sorry, I keep myself muted so you guys can talk and you won't hear any background. What is the future for your channel, Tom? What do you plan on doing?
Like I was just saying, I'm going to be getting a PC, so the opportunities are basically endless. I want to be doing sort of reaction videos, review videos, even I want to make an edited videos, whether it's like top plays, stuff like that, best moments, funny clips. Maybe even in the future at some point I want to do try animations out. But I'm going to be sort of branching out to Twitch as well, so it's going to be. I'm very excited. When you buy a whole lot of new gear, you get all these different opportunities. So I'm excited for it.
That's great, man. I'm really happy, and it feels good. I know as YouTuber because, for me, I only had a phone all this time. Hey, Epic, how are you, man? Let me put this in. Did you see the comment, Tommy? I don't know if you saw it, but let me throw this at you. I'm gonna put it up here. Hold on. It's a little slow, so give me a minute. He asked if I spoke to you yet. So since you're here, I have to put you on the spot. Epic has been really great to me. He really has. He's got me a lot of people to come here. He's got a lot of his friends have come here, hung out with me, and because of him, he's helped me even more with streaming. He told me honestly, he helps to speak to you on the side. He felt really bad about the whole situation, which I'm not going to go into in my stream. He just wants to talk, reconcile, and move forward. He's matured. He doesn't want any more hate. He doesn't want any more stupidity. So he's really asked me.
Go ahead. And then you never want to, have enemies. Not to say that me and Epic are enemies, because I don't think it's ever been that far. But sometimes people have little things, but people are always willing to give chances and stuff. You're putting me on the spot, Rob. I don't want to make things awkward.
Well, listen, I have my people. I don't who don't awkward, I have people. Listen, I have people here who don't get along with me either, and it's just there's nothing I can do. So either they want to reconcile or don't. I just thought this was pretty manly for him to come up and say, "Listen," and I thought it was really nice.
So, I know, and in the nicest possible way. When people make decisions and then they start flaking and going back on decisions, you don't make decisions to flake on them and go back on them. Personally, as much as people, this is why I don't want to make things awkward, but as much as people can say they've changed, nails were in the coffin over a year ago for me and Epic, so we'll just leave it there, and that's that. I'm sorry.
All right, like I said,
without
he's a good friend of mine.
Sorry, Rob. I know.
We'll talk about it later. We could talk offline about that. Anyway, this is All About Nerd, and if you don't know who she is, her name is Ro. She's like a sister to me. I met her last year in Chicago, and during a Star Wars celebration. we met because of the man who's here. If it wasn't for Tommy, I wouldn't have met Miss Rowe, and they are yeah, you have to go the opposite way. For me, they are just fantastic. They have treated me terrific, and I'm very blessed to have the both of them in my life. I consider him my brother, her my sister, and yeah. So, Ro, tell us all about your channel, what your future plans are, what you do in your channel. Let the people know.
All right. Well, thank you, Rob, for having us here, and obviously Tommy for joining us in this awesome chat. And hopefully you guys are enjoying or will enjoy this stream today. And before I was all about nerd, I used to be, oh, there goes my son. There you go. Live interruptions. Oh, he ran. All right. Unscripted, guys. I used to be Star Wars Raw reviews because my channel was all about Star Wars stuff. And so, most of you guys know that I'm leaving to the military. I'm going to the Air Force. I knew my channel had to evolve, and that would include having my husband take over the channel. And the reason was because I didn't want the channel to die. I wanted us to be a bigger community. I just wanted us to grow, and I just felt that by changing the name of the channel, by expanding our horizons more than Star Wars and talking about things that we enjoy, like gaming, nerdy stuff, comic book stuff that not necessarily have to do with Star Wars, maybe DC, Marvel, other things that maybe you guys enjoy. Obviously not everybody just likes Star Wars. We like different stuff, and so I wanted to become a channel that includes a lot of things that you guys enjoy. So I knew that we had to evolve, especially because I was going to go or be gone for a while, and not knowing the timeline that I was going to be gone. I know my husband is very knowledgeable in anime, in DC, in Marvel.
Really cool.
And so because of that, I just felt that me and him together as a team would make a stronger channel. So now it's all about nerd, and you'll see the picture of my husband and I. But it used to be Star Wars Raw reviews, and I just didn't want people to come into the channel and be like, "You're not Raw," like, "Who are you, man or dude?" And so because of that, we just decided to evolve. But now it's all about nerdy stuff that you guys enjoy. So that's
cool. Awesome.
I don't know what.
Sorry, I have to mute my mic, and the laptop is a little bit slow, so just bear with me here. First of all, I want to say hi to everybody here. We have Ben V, we have Olia, I never get his name right, 33. We have TCS Gaming is here. We have Yeye Ron.
I think you actually got raided. TCS sent you a raid.
Did I? I didn't even know I got raided. Oh my God.
TCS a little bit ago. Who did we have? We had in the raid. We had Maxi. We had TCS. That random dude, Ron.
Oh my God! Look at this, Maxi Moo. Oh my God! I never got raided before. That's so awesome. Nice. I was wondering how did it go from like 2 to 16 people? Holy Star Wars Lounge. Hello there.
Hello, everyone.
TG Epic 2302, that random dude, Jacob. Oh, my God. So many people stopped by already. My God, thank you. I feel blessed. It's so – wow, that's so terrific. Majad, is that who? I'm sorry. Gabrielle. Wow, look at all this. This is crazy. Wow, you guys are epic. I mean, really, thank you so much.
Nearly 20 people. Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are great.
Look, it's my wife.
This is what I love about this is. Sorry, Bernice is here. Oh my God, Tommy, you know that person, don't you? Here she is. I think Tommy Juice knows this person very well. If it shows up on my screen, hello, come on, what's going on?
There you go.
Show. Oh, it's not showing. There we go. Finally, little slow. So. First of all, everybody, welcome. I'm overwhelmed right now. This is like fantastic. I'm so overwhelmed. No problem. I've rated so many channels. I've never been rated before.
Redneck,
this is what
Saints. Crazy. How you guys doing?
Hello, guys.
This has been an unbelievable week for me. I hit 1,100. I got monetized, and now I got rated. I mean, what more could I? And I'm with my brother and sister, and this is my 4th stream. I'm just What the love of me is like, I just want to give everybody a big hug and tell them thank you so much, because you people, from Tommy to Ro to everybody, TCS to all of you. I mean, I can't thank you all enough. You guys are, for the support and the love. I want to try to give it back. That's why I do these streams. And that's why I try to get your names out there, because Tommy's a fantastic guy. All About Nerd is great. TCS is great. Epic has been wonderful to me. So many people have been great. Jacob. I can go on and on and on here. But let's get into a little bit about gaming, because that's what we're here. And I'm sure these people are here to talk about gaming. Tommy, what games do you stream on your channel?
At the moment, so I was, as I suppose a lot of you will know, I was very much just Star Wars Battlefront 2 for a long time. But then I started playing first-person shooters. Battlefield 5 was the first one. I played Apex a little bit, didn't quite get into it, but played Battlefield 5. And then Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4. And then, of course, some Modern Warfare, Call of Duty. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. The future, I'm gonna, like I said, obviously with me getting a PC and stuff, I'm gonna be playing a lot of retro games, a lot of PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 games. Just branching out really. But yeah, I think my favorite game at the moment is still got to be, hasn't it? It's got to be. It never really loses its shine for me, Battlefront 2. But yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to play more games. I'm really looking forward to the future.
What about you, Will? What do you plan on doing? What games do you do? And what do you do about your channel? I know you show videos, and that's maybe you want to get a little bit more into that.
Yes. Well, how my channel started was just technically an entertainment channel. It was just uploading videos. The reason why is because I didn't have good internet. So the only thing I can do is just upload. And eventually last year, when my internet got fixed, or when we upgraded, then I started streaming Battlefront, because at that time my channel was just Star Wars only content. But I still do the uploads and I still play Battlefront. Now I'm just a little bit venturing off, I'm playing a little bit of GTA, but just for fun. I mean, I'm not a gamer. Okay, this is like a big like disclaimer. Bro is not a gamer. I did not grow up to be a gamer or didn't have systems. I never really gamed. My husband is more like of the gamer person. I started gaming or playing Battlefront just to connect with the community, connect with my audience. And I think that helped a lot. Now that my gaming improved, I think it has improved. My Battlefront skills has improved a little bit. But I just joined Battlefront just to have fun with people. I mean, you would never see me put like 100 kill streak video. That's not me. Or, I would not be the first one to get a hero in GA. But I just really enjoy, being in stream, just talking to people, just, having the sense of a community. So if you see me playing games, guys, it's more just to have fun. But my content is geared more to like posting videos, more of entertainment type of channel. But I will do live streams. I'll play games, and I'll start venturing off into other things that I enjoy. Just because, I do like Battlefront games, but, after a while, you kind of get burned out after playing the same games over and over again. So it's just going to be a lot of different video games. I'm not going to say like, oh, I'm stuck in a certain genre. I think I'm just going to venture off and just play whatever I feel like that day. And hopefully you guys can join me, because it's all about the community.
I want to ask this. Tommy, you did play Spider-Man. You've played single-player games. You've played multiplayer games. I know we got a lot of gamers in here, which is great, because I love all these people all year, and I can go on. All these people are fantastic. That's why I love them so much. I'd give everybody a hug if I could. My question here is, and I can't express that. I'm saying it live, and I hope you all hear it. Everybody in this chat, I'm so appreciative. Tommy knows me. Ro knows me. They know how much my heart is, and I'm pouring my heart. That's how I am. I wear my feelings on my sleeve. I got nothing to hide. So I don't like you. You'll know it. I love you. You'll know it. That's it. Question. Well, let's get into games. Tommy, And bro, me personally, I love multiplayer games, and here's why: because I get to meet people, I get to play with people. The AI just becomes so like I could hide behind something. The AI knows where I am and pinpoint accuracy.
I hate those AI.
I hate that.
So we were talking about this yesterday. They are just constant bombardment. You just don't have any chance to. I'm saying that I'm sure they don't even reload. They just have unlimited,
unlimited power.
Unlimited. Sorry, carried away. Chill out, Tommy.
Yeah, it just to me it feels like look, you play a game and like okay, and it could get frustrating when you play by yourself. You play single mode because it's like, man, they just know where you are. You can't. It's hard to strategize because they know when you play multiplayer. That's why I love Battlefront. That's why I love Call of Duty. That's why I like when I watch you play Battlefield 5, which I knew nothing about till I saw you play that game. I think it's more fun to play against humans because you know what? You're human. I don't know where people are. I don't have they're here. I don't have some kind of radar. It's somewhat surprised me. Yeah, it's frustrating, but then when you think about it, it's fun because it's a challenge. It's a challenge. And
it is.
And I like that it's realistic.
It's a lot more rewarding when you outplay other players as well. Real players. I think it's a lot more rewarding. It's like, oh damn. Cool.
Yeah. How do you feel, Ro? How do you feel about multiplayer but single player? Is it a difference for you, or you just don't care? Like you would do either one. How do you feel about that?
I just have more fun with multiplayer. I mean, I played Jedi Fallen Order, and that was a great game. I think just the graphics and just everything in the game, was great. But just for me, I just enjoy more being with a group of people than just being with a single player. This is certain patience for single player gaming that I don't have. And I didn't even finish I think I watched Tommy play the Battlefront 2 campaign. I haven't even finished playing that because I have no patience for the campaign. Single player. Yeah. And
it is slightly tedious.
Yeah. And so there's certain aspects to single player that people just enjoy, and I don't enjoy that. That's not me. So I just enjoy playing with a bunch of people. I love, just like I said, just talking to people. That's me. Single player, I can't do single player, sorry. But I think when it comes to Battlefront, I think they did it. I wish it wasn't as glitchy or as broken as the game was in the beginning. And there's some stuff, some issues still going on right now with the game, but I still enjoy the aspect of getting in GA with a bunch of us and just trying to take over a point. Like I like that better than just playing, Jedi Fallen Order when it's a single player campaign 100 times.
So Jacob asked, can we talk about how cool Rose Cup is? Well, not only is hers cool, but Tommy's cool. I don't have a cool cup, so
they've all seen mine. They've all seen mine, though.
Oh, that's cool.
I think those are so cool. Look at that. That is just so awesome. That is just so terrific.
I'm drinking from the dark
The chat
side.
is really going crazy here. I'm gonna try to keep up with it. It's really hard. And my laptop's a little slow, I guess, because everybody's using the internet. So Star Wars Lounge asks, Tommy Juice, if you don't sing the stream, it wouldn't be very groovy, baby. If you
groovy, baby.
So I have to admit, Tommy does. Gabrielle, wait, hold on, let me put what Gabrielle said. Hold on. Gabrielle says, I play most of my games on easy mode. You know what? I'm gonna say something. I do too. Like when I first play a game, I don't want to be frustrated with it. I want to see the story. That's for me the really thing. I'm into the story. I want to see the story. So I don't want to grab a game and put it on the hardest mode possible. First off, I never played it. I want to get used to the controls. I want to know what does what and how I do it and how I move. So I agree with Gabrielle. The first thing I would do, get a game, put it on easy mode, play it. Then if I feel it's too easy, okay, great. I'll play it again. I'll do it on normal now, and I'll see if it's more of a challenge. I did that a lot, but I don't know if you guys do that or you know, I have no idea. So I'm just curious. Tom?
Easy mode, I think that's obviously because easy mode only applies to offline games. Yeah, the story difficulty. Yeah, I think if you're just starting to play like single player games, easy mode is definitely the way you're going to go. And I think when Fallen Order first came out, there's 4 settings. You can have it on like, let's just say Recruit is the lowest, then like Padawan, then like Jedi Knight, and then it's like Grand Master Jedi. They're not actually the ones, but it's 4 levels of easy. And I went for the second one rather than it making it too hard for myself. I'm just going to get frustrated, and not too easy to the point where it's going to be a walk in the park. All the levels are going to be really quick. But yeah, I think easy mode, if you're new to single player, is definitely the way to go. But then also, if you go back and replay a single player game, put it up just one difficulty, because you're in control. You can always quit and put it down again. But sometimes, if you say like there's one creature on Fallen Order, I think it's called I don't know what it's called. It's like Ogabonga or something. That's not what it's called. But it is one creature that you run into on one of your first planets, and he's so hard to kill. But when you kill him, eventually, when you kill him after hours of trying to beat him, the feeling is great. It's great, really good feeling. So I don't know. I guess it's personal preferences, but sometimes the challenge is good. But if you want to just sit back, put your feet up, also easy mode's also good.
So that's funny because Ro, I never knew that she got frustrated. That's pretty fun. You know, again, and I feel like Ro does, my sister over here. I feel like she does. I love the community. I love playing with the community, you know, and I think that's what makes multiplayer so awesome. Because when I was younger, I'm an old guy. Okay, I'm old. I'm like 47. So half these people probably weren't even born.
Old.
So I'm kind of old. So back in the day, we had an Atari, which was like little dots on the screen. I mean, that was it. You know, the graphics weren't all that. And that's when it all started, you know. And then we got a Nintendo. But most of the things, you couldn't play other people unless they came over to your home. That was the only way to play. So everything, Super Mario and Donkey Kong and Pac-Man, all these games, all these classic
everything was single player, wasn't it?
Yeah. So when you're doing
these old ones. Sorry, bro.
Yeah. So imagine I'm doing this, you know, since I'm a teenager, so 5 years, 10 years, 20. When this thing came out that I could, you know, play with people in the UK, you know, play with people in Australia, play with people in all over the place. It was an experience for me. And I was blown away. And the first game I played multiplayer that I really loved was Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That game blew my mind. I couldn't put that thing down, man. I was so addicted to it. That was just just the weapons. If you kill like 3 people, you get a bonus. So if you kill 5 people, you get a bonus. And it was fantastic. I mean, I just thought it was so much fun. And I thought and I got to meet people, again, different states throughout the country, different places, Canada, wherever. And I thought this is the most amazing thing, because I would have never have met these people, and I wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have got me away from life. See, I do this sometimes because life is stressful. I got bills to pay. I got to go to work. I got this. I got that.
Gaming is an escape for a lot of people. A huge escape. They can, you know, put their headphones on. Not only are they focusing on something with their eyes, but their ears. You know, gaming is like. Well, it's a real love. It's a real love for people. It's just like anything else. The way you can immerse yourselves in these artificial worlds, but yet feel so involved is, it's amazing. Yeah,
I know. Like when my date got delayed to leave to boot camp, my husband's like, "You just in a bad mood." Yeah, he's like, "You're just in a bad mood.
We get to keep you for a bit longer." Sorry.
No. Yeah, because I was like, when am I gonna leave now? You know, like now I'm in limbo. Like my date got delayed. I was supposed to leave next week. Now that's not happening. Like my future's kind of like muddy now. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. And then he's like, "You're in a bad mood. You need to go stream." And I streamed that day, and I felt so much better. You know, like my mind just kind of just it's like, okay, I'm just not gonna think about this anymore. So, and going back to like the people that you meet, I'm so thankful because I met people like obviously like Jacob, from Scotland. Like you meet so many people across the world through gaming and through
awesome guy.
Awesome people, people from Denmark. I just can't even name. There's so many people out there that you make connections with, and that's what gaming brings. All these people across the world. Like right now, Tommy's in the UK. Rob is in New York, and I'm in Texas. So far apart yet. We met each other through gaming. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that internet has brought. That's a wonderful thing. I mean, listen, everything has its pros and its cons. I agree. Like internet may have cost some people jobs, but it may have brought others jobs. It may have, I would met people again, like you said, all over the place. And I wouldn't have met you. I met Tommy, so through Tommy, I met you, and it all just clicked and it all just worked. And I think it's just such a wonderful thing when something can bring people together to have fun, to have a common interest. When you have a common interest, it's fantastic. Like earlier, Ro, you were saying about you and your hubby. Like to me, I think that's a wonderful thing that you guys can do videos together. Yeah, because now not only it's not more separate, now it bonds you even more because now you're doing something that you have a similar interest in. You both love to do, and you're both together. And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful thing in my mind to see that. It's very rare, and it's a blessing, and I think that's fantastic. I think you guys, I love it. I think that's a beautiful thing. To see him on your channel, I loved it. I think that was this is awesome.
And shout out to my husband. I know he was helping me set up right now, but like, honestly, like I couldn't have done this without his support because it was like, you have this idea and I mean, you need a backer, right? You need somebody to finance your ideas. And that was my husband. So he's like here buying me the camera, here buying me, PC, buying me this and that, because it's like he believed in me. So, obviously shout out to my husband for making all this possible. And shout out to Tommy, because I know I said this before in my stream, but it was because of him that, I started growing in this community. He was like, hey, check out Ro, and I love streamers. Yeah. And I love people. And I think I learned that from Tommy. Don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, Tommy, but just like,
okay. Go down, peasants. No,
yeah, but I learned that from Tommy that if I learned that you can make an impact in people's channels and just be kind. Kindness goes a long way. And when he started just saying like, hey, go check out Rose, she has awesome content, people just started. At that time when you could click on people's channels, thanks a lot, YouTube. Now you can't. But people started clicking and noticing and subscribing and checking out my videos. And I wanted to be that person. And I think it's just a contagious thing. And I wanted to be that type of streamer, that type of content creator that, hey, like it doesn't take away from me if you go check out somebody else, if they have amazing content. It doesn't take away from me. Like, I'm thankful that I am where I am, and people ask me like, Rose, should I stream? People come into my streams like, Rose, should I start streaming? And I'll be like, yes, do it, go for it.
100%. Yeah.
You could be doing, something else. I don't want you to live in regret. I always say that to people like, hey, if you're gonna do it now. This is a great time. Just because you have the motivation now, just start doing it. And so, I wanted to be that type of content creator. So thank you, Tommy, for just encouraging people to check out my channel and, just being there and just, being awesome in your streams, just for being you.
Right. Right back at, right back at both of you.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like I said, when I first started this YouTube thing, I was just doing videos. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was like my camera. I only had a phone. They're pretty cringy when I look back at it now. I'm like, oh my god! I put the phone like this.
Everybody,
don't you dare! Hey, there he is, Jamie.
I was like,
and speaking of, go ahead.
Oh no, I was so chunky. People tell me it's like, bro, like, is that even you? Because obviously I had to lose weight to go to the military, and so like you can see, some people have gone to my first video, and I'm like, please don't go back. But I don't want to
never even noticed that, bro. Never even noticed that.
But like I don't want to take them down because it's like it reminds you of where you come from and how.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's good. No, it's
So
good. It's
I think
but Rob, going back to what you said about when you used to stream on your phone, dude, no man, those streams were awesome. I remember one particular stream where you were on your balcony and your Wi-Fi wasn't great because you were going quite far away from your router, I think, but you were on your balcony and you were showing us like the Hudson and stuff, and there
yeah,
was
I remember.
helicopters flying over top, and people were donating, and I was awesome, man. So you can never forget where you came from. Those first streams that you started before you started playing. I remember the first time you did a live stream. I'm not sure if I made it or not, but I remember watching it back because you borrowed your friend's PlayStation, and it was just so cool,
Brother
man. You never forget. Yeah, you can never forget where you came from.
Yeah, I think those games are hey, Dono hype.
Donations?
Yeah.
Where?
Thank you guys for supporting.
Oh my God, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't even know what that is. $2.99 from Magic. Wow, that was nice. You seem like a great guy and monetized. Yay. Yeah, listen, I'm going to monetize all of you because I don't want anybody kicking anybody out of my stream. I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to hurry up and monetize anybody. I don't want anybody getting,
donation.
Listen, that's really nice of you. And I really thank you. I got to put that up on the screen. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep up with all this. I'm not used to 16 to 19 people being in my stream at one time, so this is really cool. So let me put up. What I put up is, I hope you guys can give a bunch of love hearts there. That's nice, really nice, you man. Thank you. You didn't have to do that, but dude, that's. Thank you so much, man.
Just dropped my drink down myself on live stream. GG, Tommy.
That's so awesome, man. Wow, thank you, really, thank you so much, man. Yeah, so I monetized all you because I'm not going to have anybody kicked out. If anybody kicks anybody out of here, it's me, and that's going to be the bottom line. I'm not having anybody kick anybody out. That's first off. Second off, Tommy, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have met Jacob. I wouldn't have met Charles. I wouldn't have met Jacob Star Wars. I wouldn't have met Olya. I wouldn't have met Sorkin. The names go on and on. How about Jedi Singh? I wouldn't have met Jeff, the Lost Soul Sultan.
Awesome
I
people.
wouldn't have met all these great gamers. But because I first came to your stream, when I first met you, and you said, come to my stream, I do Battlefront. I said, okay, great. And I came in. Listen, everybody's going to have their trolls. It happens. Everybody's going to have their haters. It happens. I have it. I deal with it. Whatever. You do what you got to do. But I met so many great people. When I have people writing me now on a Discord saying, hey, Rob, check out my stream. Hey, Rob, let's talk. Split screen. Right? There's another great guy.
Can't forget Beaverkiss as well.
Oh, yeah.
Beaverkiss, yes. Even though I haven't seen Beaverkiss in a while, I don't know what's up.
Yeah.
So, look at this. I got Jacob and Jacob by Star. That's awesome. I can't believe they're right there to each other. So that's awesome. I'm so happy to see them. TCS Gaming.
Academy.
The Imperial Academy, TCS Gaming. Look at all these great people there.
Just read what Ollie said. Robert was my first real multiplayer game before I went to Tommy's stream a few months back. Had about 5 PSN friends, and I have over 100. Damn, Olya. It's crazy. It's mad how many people you meet.
Actually, I'm going to put Olya's comment
because
of
Battlefront. Because of Battlefront 2, I ended up,
So I'm going to put. Yeah. So Olya 33 says Battlefront 2 was my first real MP game I've played. Before I wandered into Tommy's stream a few months back. I had about 5 PSN friends. Now I have over 100, and I wouldn't be here now. Now I'm just going to say this in life. And I said this to you guys off stream, but I didn't say it to everybody in the chat. So I hope you all listen. And I'm going to say this. This goes for all of you. I know people. I've gone through a lot this week. There have been people very depressed who I've been talking to who said, I don't know what my life's here. Why am I here? I'm like, listen. And I've told them, everybody has a purpose. Right, whether it's good or bad, somebody has come into your life, whether it's been a good or bad experience, so you could learn and mature and you could grow. In any way, you could be stronger, and it helps you as a person. I'm who I am today because of everybody I met. I've matured, I've grown, I've done bad things, I regret, I've done good things I don't regret, and I'm forever grateful I did them. I'm glad I did them, but it's made me who I am today. And the reason I'm grateful for all these people who are here today, I'm very grateful for having you two in my life. Extremely, you have no idea. And I feel so strongly is because it makes me happy. These people make me happy. You guys make me happy. If I didn't enjoy going, I wouldn't go to someone's stream if I wasn't happy. I wouldn't. I would just say, listen, sorry, I can't bother. But that's not me. I enjoy everybody. I enjoy this community, and again, I don't let one bad apple ruin it for the whole tree. If you don't like me, move on. Here's the door. Sorry I couldn't make you happy, but that's not my job. My job isn't to make every human being happy. I wish I could. If I had some superpower, I'd be like, make everybody happy, make everybody not sick, cure the world, I would do all these things, but I don't have those kind of powers. I'm just me. Yes.
Sorry,
yes, I just don't have those powers. So let's get into some gaming here. I want to ask you guys about some of the gamings. Unfortunately, Battlefront 2, no more updates. No more. It's over. If you guys were in charge, what would you have added to this game before it ended? What would you have added? Heroes? Would you have added more Starfighter? Would you have added a different game mode? Would you have added skins? What would you have put in this to make it even better? Tommy, I'll start with you.
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I was just
what would you add to the game?
I was reflecting. I was reading the chat, so I was reflecting.
Sure.
Sorry.
Sure. With Battlefront 2 ending, what if you were the designer, you were making the game, what would you have added to this game to make it better? What would you have done for Battlefront 2?
Wow. What would I have done to make it better? Personally, right, a game, I think it's been a very rare occurrence that a game has ever come out, and every single person that bought that game who was a fan of that franchise has said, this is the perfect game. This has everything in that we wanted. Games, that's not what happens. Games come out and you either have a split community or you have like a 70-30 community. With Battlefront 2, I felt like it was a bit of sort of a 50-50 community, because you've got the old Battlefront 2 from the old days, and everyone wanted Battlefront 2. Well, they wanted Battlefront 1 to be like that. But for me, like Battlefront 2 could have had, it could have had. I mean, what does it have? It has 12 heroes in, right? But no, not 12. Almost 20, yeah. 22, yeah. 20, 12. Something like that. It's 20, 22, something like that. 10 or 11 on each side. I think it's 22. Which is, it's a lot of choice. That's a lot of choice, and you can't forget that that's a lot of work the hero designers are given. We could have had Ahsoka, we could have had Ventress, we could have had, we could have had Inquisitors, we could have had Django, Dengar, so many people, Nine Numb, so many people that could have been put in the game, characters that we love, but games aren't perfect. Of course, I would have loved to have something like that in the game, but for me, Battlefront 2, apart from glitches, and they could have. What I wish, and what's something that wouldn't even have been hard for them to do, is Fallujah, Galactic Assault, Aegon Class, Galactic Assault, Scarif, Galactic Assault. Galactic Assault was, I think, personally, apart from the people that are like hardcore HV players, Galactic Assault was everyone's go-to mode. It had everything. It had all the varieties. It had all the eras in it. It had all the vehicles in it. It had all the heroes in it. It had all the reinforcements. All the you could play as any class you want. But like I said, besides me wanting a few different maps for maybe Galactic Assault because it got neglected, Capital Supremacy was welcome. And I think again, this just goes back to it. A game can't have everything in it. So I think, apart from a few glitches, I think Battlefront 2 did everything good to be a great game. They can reflect back on. It didn't have the greatest start, given that with the loot boxes and stuff. I think everyone would say that, but it brought itself back to a place where the developers were almost seen as inhuman. To be able to bring a game back so far from where it was, being possibly the worst game launch alongside of Battlefield 5, one of the worst game launches that's ever happened, to being one of the most played games across the planet up until not long ago. I think Battlefront 2 is great. I think it's great. I don't think there's really much more they could have done to it. What am I saying? There is a lot more they could have done to it, but I think I wouldn't change it. Because when things come out in the future, like Battlefront 3, if that does ever happen, or a different multiplayer Star Wars game, I think they're really going to look back on what we asked them to do, and we're going to have Mace in it, we're going to have Ahsoka in it, we're going to have so many different characters in it. I think it's great. Summary.
How about you? How do you feel? What would you do?
I mean, I have to agree 100% with what Tommy said. But just to add on, I think one thing that I wanted was customizable clones, that you can customize your own clone trooper, whichever class, but you can just add on, stickers, or, because maybe you want your clone to look like somebody from, the Clone Wars, the animated series,
a Rex or something.
Yeah, and that doesn't have to be a hero. It's just the clone that you want, or just paint it a different way so you don't look like the rest of them, the rest of the clones. So I think that would have added a little bit more flair to the game, or maybe you can unlock different stickers or colors, and then you could just add it to your clone or your classes. I think that would have been neat. I think that GA, I love GA. I think that's one thing that I kind of was grieving over, like them not updating that. I know, because I really just love having so many people join. And that was one of the modes that I enjoyed the most, was GA. So when they didn't bring Scarab or Agent Cloud, like I was really sad. So that, but I think more than anything, if you can customize your clone, because I know you can't customize the weapons, like the colors they all look the same. I don't think you can, right? I don't know if I saw it in the Clone Wars. I don't remember seeing their guns painted different colors. But at least you can customize the clones. I think that would have added just a little touch to
I think it definitely would have pleased a lot of people. Just one change they could have made was just get rid of the classes and make the weapon system and stuff how it was from Battlefront.
Like open to any class, and then you can just customize your weapon.
Because Battlefront 1, there was no classes. You could run. My favorite thing is, I know people used to love like the bow, the jump pack and the pulse cannon and stuff, but my favorite thing was running the thermal detonator with the gas grenade, and then just being able to interchange your guns with whatever you want, but not having to, and sacrifice your grenades because you're having to change class like Battlefront 2. But I loved that you could use any weapon with any attachment or perk in Battlefront 1.
So maybe they'll do that if there's a Battlefront.
What I would have done, and I don't know if you guys would agree with me. So the first thing I would have done was took everything from Battlefront 1 and threw it into Battlefront 2, because there was a lot there. There was first of all, there was the Death Star with the Starfighter, which I loved, and I thought that should have been added. There was boards there that was great, like the Battle of Jakku was so much fun. My God, I loved that board.
I loved the Battle. What was it? The Graveyard of Giants. I loved it.
Yes, that was fantastic. There was the Bespin board. They were like, I'm like, Bespin. Why didn't they throw?
Remembering Bespin. Oh.
Why didn't they throw all of that, which included Dangar, Nia Nub, characters we didn't have, Director Krennic, I think that's how I say his name, Jyn Erso. Why didn't they add that? First of all, that's the first thing they should have said. Okay, don't worry. We're going to throw everything from Battlefront 1, and we're going to put it in our game automatically, right away. That's the first thing they should have done.
If you look at that from an angle of, let's say they did that. They put a bunch of stuff, maps, heroes, a bunch of stuff into Battlefront 2. They may as well have just called it Battlefront 1.5. 0.10 or something. 0.10, Battlefront 1 point. You know, they made everyone loved Battlefront 1, and obviously when a new game comes out, people are going to take time to adjust to it. Games aren't. It's the same with any sort of franchise that's come out. Look at Battlefield. Had Battlefield 4. The one that came out after that, I think, was Battlefield 1, right? The one that came out after that was Battlefield 5. You're not going to then get the game that comes out after Battlefield 1 going to be called, you know, Battlefield 1, still World War 1, but we've added some things and upgraded the graphics. People would love it, but it's not, you know, a next game to the franchise. It's basically the same game with just upgraded graphics. Yeah. And as much as people want that, games develop and games change. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? It's like this, you can't have, if they were to put everything in Battlefront 2 from Battlefront 1, it would literally just be Battlefront 1 with some upgraded graphics. Although that would be cool, it's not a different game, is it? It's the same game. You may as well just play Battlefront 1.
People would have felt cheated. Like, I spent $60 or whatever money.
Yeah, like I just bought the same game. So I've got everything that the last game's got, apart from a few new things. Like, yeah, that's what updates are for. That's what DLCs are for.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you know what happened when it, like with me, I spent all that money, right, to get those DLCs, which cost, I can't remember, like 20 each or whatever the hell they cost. I can't really remember. It was so long ago. But I was excited to get them. And then all of a sudden, oh, we got Battlefront 2. So I'm like, so now what does that mean? Now that I spent all this money, now people are going to jump off Battlefront 1. They're going to buy Battlefront 2. And now I wasted all my money because I can't play the game by myself. If I don't have enough people to play this mode, I've lost $20. That game cost me probably over $100 to play. And at the time, I wasn't streaming anything. So I felt, in my mind, I felt ripped off because I'm like, now, you know, I don't know if I'm going to have enough people to play Battlefront 1 because everybody wants to play the newer game. Who wants to play the older game? You know,
Battlefront 1 is still very much, even though it's, you know, got less player counts, Battlefront 1, I think especially since the end of Battlefront 2 has been announced, it's pretty similar to Battlefield 5. Ever since the end of Battlefront 2 and Battlefield 5 was announced, so many people have been regressing back to those old games. Because they are great games. But yeah, I guess that's just what people do. They tend to get good games and stuff. But Battlefront 1 is still very popular. You should definitely give it a go, mate. Definitely.
Yeah, maybe I should. Tommy, TCS Gaming says, Tommy, I still participating in Battlefront 1 tournaments. Like the guys like Way Good and
Twinston, Battlefront 1 is
still alive and well.
It's absolutely
popular. Yeah, I didn't think.
And
I
sometimes
didn't think it would be. But I guess I'm wrong.
I mean, just look when Jeff plays it, you know, Lost Sulliston, he gets a full chat, 30-odd people watching, and the servers are always full, and it's always a good time because as much as people like playing new games, when you go back to an old game, not only the nostalgia, but just remembering how good the game was. But yeah, the nostalgia as well. You know, you could be at a certain point in your life, some things that have been happening, and then you move on, and then when that thing pops up again, you're like, oh man, like this is crazy memories for me. You know, you remember so much about it. But Battlefront 1 is very much alive still, very much.
This is a good hello, Jedi Purge. How you doing? Zach Sheldon says the Force Unleashed is by the way, if you haven't checked out Jedi Purge, he's a new channel, and I'm trying to really help him grow. So if you guys could check out the Jedi Purge, you know, if you want Jedi, drop your link in the chat. You know, he's supposed to be on my live stream Sunday, so hopefully you guys will get to know him. Zach said the Force Unleashed is by far my favorite Star Wars game because it had my favorite voice actor, Sam Witwer, who does the Darth Maul voice in the Clone Wars.
Yeah. Palpatine,
he's such an awesome voice actor. You know what I loved about that is that not only did they use his voice, they used his actual model, like his human model, and put that in the game. How cool would that be? So you're not any sort of Star Wars character. You know, you've not been in any films, you've not been in any TV shows, but you are now, you know, they created you as a person in a game, and you're now one of the most loved Star Wars characters from a game ever. Because Force Unleashed is an amazing game, but yeah, Sam it's Witter, right? Whitworth.
Yeah,
he's just awesome.
Whitworth,
I mean, his performance as Maul all the way through the Clone Wars and Rebels was just I couldn't hold it. Everything was just amazing.
TCS says, I know people who streamed the OG Battlefront from 2005. Whoa. And that game is still going because people are making new mods and stuff. That's shocking to me too. I
think this game, Battlefront 2, is only gonna survive if people do. I mean, I know PC version, I think it'll survive more because I know they're making mods for the PC version. Like if you can't get Ahsoka, they'll make a mod for Ahsoka, or the mods that they really want to. So I think Battlefront 2 is in good hands, especially with the PC community, because they're making mods. I think I saw Baby Yoda mod. You know, like they just putting on kinds of stuff. So,
Baby Yoda mod instead of Yoda.
Yeah, I think he's hovering and everything, so it looks legit. So I think when it comes to Battlefront 2, it's definitely gonna survive on PC. Just because people are gonna put mods and stuff. Yeah.
It's funny. I actually did a video on the Baby Yoda mod, and like a lot of people loved that. They thought it was really funny, really fun. They really got a great charge out of that. So here's my other question. Since we know, I mean, again, that's what I would put in. I would have added, like you said, Ahsoka. I think that's a great point, Ro. That's someone else who I think that everybody would have loved. Ventress, I thought could have been in this game.
Yeah. Ventress.
I mean,
it would have been personally, you know, I know going back on what you said about, you know, games can't have everything in for everyone, but going back to it, if Battlefront 2 had Ahsoka and Ventress and Mace Windu and Jango Fett, it literally would have been perfection.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
It would have pieced the fans for sure. Like,
hey, John is ready. Sorry, Ro. Just replying to all the Hispanic comment.
I think a lot of the backlash that Battlefront 2 got, and because of the loot boxes and all that, you know, pay to win. I think if they would have put Ahsoka and Ventress, it might have drawn more people back into the game. But I mean, just timing wasn't on their time for DICE. You know,
the thing is what you've got to think about is Battlefront 2 released. When was it? Was it the end of 2017, like December 2017?
November,
November, December 2017. And we're now, May the 15th? Well, they announced it, maybe 2 weeks ago? So you're looking at the end of April 2020. A live multiplayer game that was not supported by just mod, like people that mod. Say like World of Warcraft does. Not a lot of people know, you know, a lot about World of Warcraft, I guess, because it's a PC game, but that game has stayed alive through people making custom servers online. Mm-hmm. But Battlefront 2 has had 2.5 years of online support. Games don't get that. I think that just shows how much dedication they wanted to put into making this game amazing for everybody to try. You know, the sweats and the noobs and the average players. You know, if you want to be competitive, you can. I mean, look what Grandmaster did, and
the Tournament of Fates.
The Tournament of the Fates. I mean, look, stuff like that. I mean, that brought so many people together, and it allowed people to watch a tournament. You know, every week, every couple of times a week. That was like, wow. You know, we watch these streamers, and now we're seeing them like face off against each other, and it was just a really cool thing. But going back to it, 2.5 years for a company like EA to actually still put, I mean, technically, most of the time, unpaid work into a game just to please the fans. I think they did an amazing job. I really do.
And I wonder, too, if they did that because they didn't want to lose the licensing from Lucasfilm.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. It's like, you took the license and then given up, yeah.
Yeah, because I know they had a rocky start. They didn't make the millions or the money that they were projected, and maybe just to appease. I mean, that was the rumor. I don't know. I don't work inside Lucasfilm. That was a rumor that they weren't happy, and Lucasfilm wasn't happy with what happened with the loot boxes, and maybe just to appease the fandom and to kind of keep their contract. Maybe that's why they continue with the game. But I know, like when you said about support, I know there are games that they only supported for a year and that's it. Yeah. And we got in support for 2 years, which is good. And I'm hoping, I know there's a patch coming. I know it's gonna hopefully fix some of the glitches and some of the problems that we have. There was so much potential for this game, but there's no money. They weren't making any money. And so I can see them why they ship. They're like, we're not making any money. I think we need to just put this to rest and maybe just work on the next project, since I think their contract is due 2023.
Yeah.
Something like that. So maybe hopefully, fingers crossed, we get another.
Is that EA, did you say?
I think EA, yes.
EA still has the Star Wars contract.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
That's obviously, I know they're putting all their focus into Battlefield 6 now, and that's going to be 2021. But I think, what was that, 2023? If that is that we've still got the contract, I think that's a lot of time.
For them,
a lot of time.
We do have the PS5 coming out. So my thought was, when they stopped this project, they now are going to obviously focus. Everything is, all these companies are going to say, well, listen, this is ending. We got a new system coming. Now we got to put our efforts into the new system. So I was thinking, I don't know, because this is hopeful thinking. I've seen a lot of it on other social platforms, how much people want this. Do you guys think there will be a Battlefront 3?
Right.
If we go like 0 to 100, I would say as of right now, I'll give it a 20% chance there will be a new game. As of right now, maybe as time goes by, I'll change my mind. Maybe, because honestly, I haven't even seen the graphics for the PS5. I know they did like a reveal for the Xbox, the new Xbox, some like trailers of what the graphics look. I personally haven't seen what the PS5 new console looks like. I'll give it 20. I don't think it's gonna be like, they're gonna release a Battlefront 3 in December when the system comes out, or whenever the system.
Yeah.
If anything, if you were to ask me, like, in 2 years will we get a Battlefront 3? I can see that happening. That would be more like a 60% chance, yes. But next year, I don't think so.
No. I agree. Personally, I don't think we will see a Battlefront 3 in the next. Before New Year 2022. I think, if anything, if there is a Star Wars, like what Ollie has just said, it might not be a Battlefront game, but in terms of a Star Wars multiplayer game, 2023, I think maybe the back end of 2022, but 2023 is probably when we're going to be looking at. And I personally think that they might. I don't know. They've got quite a few avenues they can go down, because they can go down the way that Battlefront 2 has worked, with preset heroes, stuff like that you can select from in certain game modes. Or they could go down, what I was thinking about the other day is they could go down a sort of, I don't know if anyone knows, a lot of people will know, but Rob and Roe, DC Universe Online, which is an online multiplayer, but you can create your character how you were saying earlier, Ro, with the clones, how you can customize them any way you want. In DC Universe Online, you can literally customize your superhero any way you want. But then you can mix and match his abilities out of so many different abilities out of the DC universe. You can have impenetrable skin, but then you can blow water out of your hands like Aquaman can. There's so many possibilities in that game that you can be for your own superhero. So I think they could go down an avenue like that with, you at the start of the game, you pick whether you're going to be a Sith or a Jedi. But then do they incorporate sort of things like pure Force users like Grey Jedi and stuff? There's so many avenues they can go down. Personally, I think they'll stick to the presets like Battlefront 2 was, but just more advanced. I was talking about a game mode kind of like Capture Supremacy, but there's a space battle going on simultaneously to the ground battle. So you can interchange between whether you want to, you can leave the ground with a troop transport and go and join the battle in space, board a dreadnought, and then if that's not, if you're going to lose up there because the ground forces are losing, you have to win both at the same time, if that makes sense. I don't know. There's so many possibilities, and I guess I'm excited to see what they do come up with, but it's going to be a while. It's definitely going to be a while.
Yeah. So I have a question, Tommy, because I know you play Battlefield 5. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Have you played Call of Duty?
Yeah. I play it every day. Played about 3-4 hours of it today. Me and Bernays.
So if you have the choice between, let's say you could only get one game. Let's say someone's out there saying, man, I can only get one. Do I get Battlefield 5 or do I get Call of Duty? They're both war games. I don't know which one to pick. I can only get one. Which one would you pick for somebody right now to buy if they can only choose one? And why?
It would
tough. I knew it was going to be a tough question.
Isn't it Call of Duty free though to play online?
Yeah. This is something that also a lot of Battlefield 5, just coming off the topic a little bit, Battlefield 5 fans were very upset about, is that when the thing is Call of Duty and Battlefield 5 are insanely different games because it's modern warfare, whether Battlefield 5 is World War II. But also both games have a Royale mode, Battle Royale. But Battlefield 5 didn't. What they should have done is they should have released Firestorm. Yeah, exactly what Jacob just said. It's a mess. They should have released Firestorm, which was their Battle Royale mode, free to play, just like Modern Warfare did. But they didn't. You had to buy the game to be able to play this Battle Royale. But the game is still in stores. I think it's still like £30, £35. It's still very expensive. Yeah. I got it on a deal when it was on 1 week at the PS store, but it's still very expensive. So people can download Call of Duty Warzone for free. Yeah. They can play it. They can get used. They can get used to how the guns work, the gunplay, the vehicle play, the explosive play, just all of it for free.
Yeah.
I think obviously I know it's 2020 now, and Battlefield 5 brought Firestorm out in 2019. But if they had done it for free, it would have been so much better online. But personally, as much as I love Battlefield 5, I would tell people to get Modern Warfare because they can play Modern Warfare for free, and then if they really like it, they can then spend that extra bit of dollar on the actual game
and unlock the extra maps and stuff. Because my husband is playing Call of Duty right now. He's trying to get better, and he wants to stream that. Like that's the game that he wants to stream. He's not into Battlefront to stream Battlefront. So, but he's like, hey, it's free, and then now he's all hooked, and that's what gets people like hooked into those free stuff. And it's like, hey, baby, I want to buy this gun, but I can't get it unless I buy the game. And so that's probably how they get people, just releasing a lot of good content that is free. But if you want the extra stuff, you really have to buy the game. And so I can see him buying the game later. He's probably going to ask me like, hey, can I get this? So.
All right, Raul, I'm going to start this question for you. Zach asks, what do you guys think the next Star Wars saga will be? And we'll start with you, Raul. Since you want Star Wars review, I'm going to put you on the spot now.
Now, what do I think is going to be? Honestly, I don't know. I know we have a lot of the projects that are coming up right now, and it seems very like linear, like the Obi-Wan. I know it's not going to be like a 10 series thing, I can see it be like, if anything, between 3 and 5 seasons, if they make that 3 and 5 seasons, maybe 2 seasons. I know we're getting the Mandalorian obviously next season 2, and I can see that maybe going for up to season 5 or 6. If you're talking about the trilogy, I honestly I don't even know. I heard rumors. Okay, so I saw this personally. Okay, not rumors. I'm sorry. Personally, I saw this interview in the Star Wars show with Kathleen Kennedy, and this is when Episode 7 had already came out. So this, you might want to go back and try to find that interview, like 2 years worth of videos, right? And she said that episodes, is it like after this trilogy, is episodes 10, 11, and 12, was supposed to follow Rey, Poe, and Finn. Now, I think she messed up and she kind of caught herself, because by her saying that, she was already giving us the ending of episode 9. These 3 characters are going to survive. Mm-hmm. When I saw that, I didn't even was like, so there's no stakes here. Yep. These 3 people are going to survive. And later on in years, because she said in 10 years or so, that was what the interview said. 10 years that we're going to make a episode 10, 11, and 12, seeing these 3 characters, you know, what happened with them, their backstory, and where it has taken them, and blah, blah, blah. So I kind of sat there, I was like, so Kylo's going to die. So many people are not going to survive. And you already gave me the ending of episode 9. Now, because of the events that happened with this trilogy and people not liking it, and, you know, just the mess of everything that just came out, maybe she's not going to do that. Maybe Kathleen Kennedy in 10 years might not be where she's at right now. Maybe they're going to hire somebody else. We don't know. But what I do want is either an Ahsoka animated series following her a year after what we just saw, and spoiler alert, after we just saw in episode 7 of Clone Wars. I would like to see how Ahsoka helped the rebellion from that point on to when we saw her in Rebels. I think that would be very interesting, because when we saw her introduced in Rebels, they introduced her as Fulcrum and someone who's helping rebuild cells in the rebellion. And I think since she's very likable, I would love to see her do that, working with Mon Mothma, maybe working with Cassian Andor. So that's a lot of possibility for Ahsoka. I'm sorry. I would like to see that. I don't want, this is one thing I don't want, because I know there's a lot of things that we want, but I just don't want them to bring characters for the sake of bringing nostalgia back. And that's even me talking about Ahsoka, because I love Ahsoka. I just don't want them to say, oh, we're bringing Ahsoka and the Mandalorian just because it's Ahsoka, or we're bringing Bo-Katan in the Mandalorian because it's Bo-Katan. Like, if they're gonna play a character, whether it's male or female, because I know there's a lot of controversy even about that, like female characters in Star Wars, I just want them to serve their purpose, period. Let them serve the purpose, and that's it, and let it be good, and that's that. But if it were my wish, I just want an Ahsoka. I honestly couldn't even guess what's gonna come up next, because how Star Wars is led right now, it's just,
you don't know.
It's just a mess, and I wouldn't even know.
This is why I think a lot. No, it's all right. Everybody's sorry. I think a lot. I mean, talking 95% of the whole Star Wars community that's up to date with stuff have all their faith in Dave Filoni taking over. I mean, like 100%. I know that from what I was reading yesterday is that Kathleen Kennedy only has 100% creative involvement on. She only has 100% on creative involvement in one project right now, and is it something Chow? There's a
Deborah Chow.
That's her, so there's a project that she's working on, and that's the only project that Kathleen Kennedy has 100% creative control over at the moment. Everything else, literally everything else that's coming out of Disney and Lucasfilm, Star Wars related, obviously Lucasfilm, but Disney, is Dave Filoni. Everything else is Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. So I think over time, it has to be like what Kathleen did. I was watching a video again, I think yesterday or the day before, Star Wars Theory, that we all know and love. I'll wait for episode 2 of the Vader Shards of the Past thing, by the way. Not shout out his channel.
He needs viewers. He needs subscribers. So channel.
I think that everything that happened with episode 8 with The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson. The thing is that Rian Johnson is not a terrible director.
No,
he's not a terrible director. After watching Last Jedi, I watched reviews on other films that he's done, and there's some great films that he's done. He's done some really good films. But the thing is that he did with Star Wars, it was almost like I've got the opportunity to leave my print on a franchise that is so well known across the world. So that's what I'm going to do. It was like, I'm going to completely put aside what the fans want. And I'm going to do, and we all know this, and I'm going to do exactly what I want to do. And I'm going to sort of leave my mark on it. They didn't leave much, for episode 9 to be able to claw themselves back from. But that was Kathleen's choice. To put Ryan in charge and to be able to give him all creative control was Kathleen's choice. So I think it has to be, like Brad's just saying now, it has to be Filoni, and Kennedy has to go. There is no one else. If they were to put some random other person in control that we've never even heard of, people would go nuts. When Filoni is very clearly showing us how much not only he knows about the Star Wars universe, but he actually loves it. Like, he cares about it. Like, if he was to bring something out and people didn't like it, like if people hated season 7, given not everyone was happy with the two sisters, character arc. Yeah, the Ahsoka arc, the two sisters, and given the 2 middle episodes of that 4-episode arc were dead, they would trash personally. But the last episode of it and the first episode of it, I think were actually pretty good. But that's all down to Filoni, and I think he had to put those in there because of
they were already there. I think
they were already created, and he didn't really have much. His full creative input was on the last 4 episodes, which were literally like a movie. But they have to get Kennedy out because Filoni is the only way, and I've seen so many people posting like Filoni Jesus memes everywhere because it's true. Because to us, I mean, I love the prequels, and I know, but let's not linger on that. Chat the prequels.
I just need a minute, so I'm going to let you two. I just need 1 minute, so I'm going to let you two.
No worries, mate.
Roll with it right now. I'll be right back. Just give me a minute.
Yeah,
okay. Sorry, I'll let you.
No, go on, Ron. No,
because I was going to say the only 2 trilogies that I know that we're going to still they're still in the air that had already been announced was the Rian Johnson trilogy, which according to Rian Johnson is still happening, and the trilogy of the Old Republic that was supposed to be made by Benioff and Weiss, the creators of Game of Thrones, which they stepped down. They stepped down from that because I don't know what happened, creative differences. They were supposed to actually write those 3, that trilogy, those 3 movies, and different directors were supposed to direct it, kind of like what they're doing with The Mandalorian right now. But they stepped down because of whatever reason. So those 2 trilogies are still in the air because the fans are not accepting Rian Johnson. I mean, Knives Out, I heard, I haven't seen it. They said it was an excellent movie. It got nominated for an Oscar, and I think it already has a second, a sequel coming up for Knives Out 2. And so he did Looper, Rian Johnson, which I really love that movie. I mean, it's really rated R. Kids don't watch
Looper is this is what I mean about Rian Johnson is Looper is quite literally people are gonna scrape me for this in the chat. I loved Looper. I loved it. I thought it was I think one of the first scenes in that movie is where he's in like that farmyard. And then he's gone. And it's just I thought Looper was brilliant. I love Looper. See, it's just proof that it's almost like he did it on purpose. Well, he knows that he did it on purpose, but it's almost like he wanted to annoy people. He wanted to mess up everyone's favorite friend. He wanted to make Luke Skywalker the complete opposite of what he was in the original movies. Yeah, but we hate him for that. But
like Rian Johnson did leave his mark in Star Wars. I mean, I think he's always gonna be known as that director. It's bad or it's good, or as much as you like or dislike the prequels, you still love George Lucas. Like you don't just walk away from Star Wars because of the prequels. I mean, you're still gonna love George Lucas. People for the most part enjoyed Episode 7, and I think they believe at least 80% of people really enjoyed Episode 7 and Rian Johnson. And majority, if not people, believe that episode 9 was just kind of like backpedaling on what happened in episode 8 and trying to patch the holes. And it's almost like a like warning, and oh my gosh, we gotta cover, sinking ship, we gotta cover the holes, because
quite literally episode 9, the people who dealt with episode 9, when they got like the paperwork on their desk, it was literally the Titanic with the bottom end already in the air. It was like, well, how do we save this? And it's already going to sink. It's already sinking. How do we save it? And yes, we could have had Force Ghosts and stuff in the end of last, what was it, Rise of Skywalker? Mm-hmm. But I've rewatched Rise of Skywalker recently, and I actually really liked it. Really liked it.
And that's, I like certain things. Like, I don't hate the movie. I didn't come out hating the movie like I came out from episode 8. The first 5 minutes, when I saw Luke Skywalker, not even that opening scene with Paul, when I saw him throw that lightsaber, my heart just sank. And through the whole movie, I just knew that this was episode 8, my experience. Episode 9, I just felt it was 2 movies in one. And it was just like fast, and trying to fix what happened in the end. And I felt like if Lucasfilm would admit it, like, okay, guys, the movies or this trilogy didn't work out, we're just gonna make an episode 10 in a way to apologize to the fans. I mean, I know they're not gonna apologize. It's their, I could never make a Star Wars movie like J.J. Abrams or even Rian Johnson. I'm not that creative, so props to them. But if they would have come out and said, we're gonna make, instead of a trilogy how we normally have it, it's actually gonna be 4 movies, I think fans would have been more forgiving of episode 9, because it would have been 9 and 10, and just give a little bit of room for the characters to grow, to bond, because technically we never saw Poe, Finn, and Rey together, like how we saw Luke, Han, and Leia.
Yeah.
And so people were not really connected with them. And I know Lucasfilm wanted us to be connected to those 3 characters. And honestly, I could care less. If Finn would have died, or Poe, I would have been like, okay, laters, bro. If Rey would have died, laters, bro. If Rey would have died, we'd be like, okay, sacrifice herself. But it wouldn't have been such emotional.
It wouldn't have been like if Han died or Leia died or Chewie died.
Yeah.
It would. They didn't give us that real impact. I think something they could have touched on more, not to cut you off. No, sorry. No, I am cutting you off. Carry on, please, bro. Sorry.
No. I was gonna say, like when Leia died, it didn't break my heart when Leia passed away. It broke my heart when I saw Chewie crying. Holy cow! When they tell Chewie, and Chewie just breaks down and starts roaring. I was tears, and then I looked at my husband, and my husband had man tears.
Chewie's the last one.
Yeah,
last one.
And not so much because it has to do a lot because these characters we notice and we realize that they care for one another, and we had other movies to see them grow together and care for one another. And so when you see Chewie break down, it's like, oh my gosh, he lost someone that he loved. But I didn't have that connection with Poe, Finn, and Rey. But anyway,
I think just going back to the Rise of Skywalker, I think it wasn't when Leia died, it was when Ben died. It was when Ben's shirt sort of went like, and he disappeared, because then the next shot immediately switched to Leia's body, then going, and that for me was like she was waiting for her son. It was like Han Solo in the Force was telling her to wait for him, because it wasn't going to be long. It wasn't going to be long. It wasn't going to be long. He came back to the light, saved Rey's life, gave the woman that I guess that he loved as much as people hate the Rilo thing. He gave this woman that he was obviously in love with all this time a kiss, and then he joined his mum, and that for me was, I think, the most emotional point in that film.
There are obviously
mother and son going together was just it's mad.
I don't dislike anybody who does like or doesn't like episode 9. There are a lot of redeemable qualities even about episode 8. Like, I like the throne room scene. Like, there are a lot of things that I enjoy from this trilogy. It was just cinematically was
the throne room, Snoke's death. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Yeah. But then I feel like they kind of knew that the story was was shiz. I'm trying not to swear. They kind of knew the story wasn't good, so they went into like a Game of Thrones season 8 game mode. It was like, scrap the story. It's all about the visuals. As long as everything looks good, they'll think it's great.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, the core fandom saw right through those lines. Good look, you know, 7, 8, and 9, they all looked great. They did all look great. Snoke fight scene was good, except when you got down and you see that some of the moves that were used were complete, not really possible. But yeah, I thought they did, I guess, a terrible and great job mixing together.
Yeah. Now the question is, would fans rather not have had episode 8, 7, 8, and 9? You know, I don't know.
I think was the original. I'm just gonna really nip to the toilet.
To me, I mean, I heard everything you guys said, and I've been following the chat along here. They didn't have a plan. That's the whole thing. They bought Star Wars. George, which Kathleen Kennedy has lied numerous times, gave George said in an interview with her sitting right there, I gave you a treasure trove of Star Wars stuff, comic books, you know, you have it there for you.
Plethora.
Right? It's like you can make movies, right? You can make movies from all this. You're sitting on a gold mine right now. That's what you're sitting. The EU alone would rate. I'm telling you, if I took every Star Wars fan and said, okay, I'm making an EU movie, people would say, here's my money. Here's my money. I want an EU, I'm in. You can put in tons of Sith, Bane, all these characters. I'm in. Where do I sign? It's unbelievable that Kathleen Kennedy, and I don't know if you know this, but there's been a civil war going on right now in Lucasfilm, where you got Favreau's people and Kennedy's people. And Kennedy's people are trying to get rid of the past. The reason we got Galaxy's Edge, the reason we didn't get the OT in it, the prequel trilogy in it, we just got the sequel trilogy, was because of KK. She convinced Iger. We got so much Star Wars stuff in the future. We need to get rid of the past stuff. Let's just make it our Star Wars. Big mistake. Huge mistake. To kill the lore, huge mistake. They had no plan, huge mistake. To get different writers to write a trilogy, how stupid can you be? If Tommy told a story of Star Wars and I told a story of Star Wars and you told a story, it's just, it wouldn't be the same thing. If Ro, you and me and Tommy told a story and people in the chat, it would all be different. Oh, look at it, Baby Yoda.
I was going to leave something behind so you guys can stare at it. I'm going to go to the restroom.
This is awesome. You got to put the camera down a little.
It's okay.
You just got to put the camera down a little. Or use a book. Put a book and put the book on it.
Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda. Riding a pig, Baby Yoda.
This is so funny. I can't believe we're going to watch Baby Yoda.
I'm going to go to the restroom, guys. Just so that you're not staring at the chair. There you go.
You got Baby Yoda to keep us company.
Oh, that was true Lego fan, man. Chewie isn't last, obviously Lando. I think Lando was more of a. There was a close group. There was Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewie, and then Lando was just sort of here.
Right.
Lando was involved, but he was just sort of here.
Well, don't forget, Lando and Han had a history. So, you know, between the card game, and we see that in Solo, and they had a history. So there was some closeness there between them two.
I liked Solo.
You don't think
one bit that grinds on me in Solo is when the dude's like, "What's your name, kid?" And he's like, "Han."
Nah.
And he looks around and then he goes, "Solo." Like, oh.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, really? That's how you got your name?
Listen, I don't think it was a perfect movie. There was things I would have took out. I would have took out how he met Chewbacca. I would have made it more towards the books. I would have made it that he saves Chewbacca from getting hurt. That's what they did in the books. That's how they met. Han was an Imperial pilot at the time, and he met Chewbacca because they were going to torture him. And so he was told, you better torture him or else, you know, this is you. You're done. And So he couldn't handle that. He said, "I'm not going to torture this Wookiee." So he saps the guy instead, and he takes off with Chewie, and then Chewie's like, "Listen, you saved my life."
All those books and stuff are now all just legends and not canon because of the stupid sequels. Ugh.
Yeah,
well, not the Solo film is a sequel, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and the biggest problem I have is that why Kennedy. Listen, George trusted Kennedy with his whole company. The reason he gave Disney the company because he thought the children friendly, they're going to do the right thing, and as long as I take someone who's my understudy, such as Kathleen Kennedy, she'll say, "Hey, listen, that's not what George wants. So let's do what George wants. We'll bring the fans in."
What's going on with my PC?
Hold on, I gotta look here.
It doesn't have.
So
It doesn't have a name.
She decided that, hey, we're going to go the way I want it to go. We're going to get rid of the old. We're going to get rid of the new. We're going to keep the new. We're going to kill the past, and that's where everything went wrong. That's why this fandom is torn into. That's it. Because you have old timers like me, and you have young kids. And so everybody's at war with each other right now and cursing and yelling, and you don't know what you're talking about. The other problem is generations, right? You grew up in the prequel trilogy, correct, Tommy? And I grew up in the original trilogy. So now you have kids who are growing up in the sequel trilogy. That's the problem.
I saw the prequels before I saw the originals. But the biggest thing for me with the prequels was the style of lightsaber fighting, and I know that in the originals, Luke does a few jumps here and there, and Vader does a few jumps here and there that use the Force and stuff. But and I know a lot of people really do prefer the sequel. I mean, the original trilogy lightsaber fighting. But for me, the style of acrobatics and stuff from the prequels, I just thought it was just too much. I just can't ever get it out of my head, and that's why I love watching the Clone Wars also, because the style is the same and it's just so awesome. It's like in the films in Return in Attack of the Clones, when you see, I mean, firstly, Phantom Menace, Maul versus Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, but mostly the Obi-Wan and Maul thing. That was one of the best choreographed. I don't know if that's the right word. Choreographed, is that it? You know what I mean? But the choreography, was just so insanely good. And then going back to like seeing Yoda in Attack of the Clones jump from wall to, it was just so insane. Because can you imagine Yoda fighting like Luke and Vader did in the originals? There wouldn't be how that doesn't work. So you have to make it acrobatic, and obviously they use the Force a lot more. Obviously Yoda didn't teach Luke like that, and Vader wasn't necessarily capable of that because of he had his limbs cut off. I mean, God forbid if Vader never had his limbs cut off, he would have overthrown Palpatine in the first few years, I think. But the prequels for me were amazing, not necessarily because of the story, though I did love the story, but they're all on par. I loved it all. Star Wars is Star Wars.
Yeah, listen, I agree. I think that the prequel trilogy had the best lightsabers ever, and Revenge of the Sith was one of my favorite movies. I mean, if you take all the Star Wars movies, that's my favorite. I thought it had, you felt everything. You felt the emotion. You felt Obi-Wan Kenobi's caring for Anakin. To see him turn his back on and kill all these people just wrecked him. It was just, you felt that. You saw Padme like, I don't even know who you are anymore. You're the guy I love. I'm having your kids, and it was just so amazing.
I was speaking about this earlier on stream. That when it's explained on Disney Plus in the Mandalorian gallery in the episode 2, at the end of episode 2, Dave Filoni's talking about episode 1. He's talking about Phantom Menace, and the fact that Duel of the Fates isn't, just the duel of anything. It's the duel. The Duel of Fates is the duel between Qui-Gon and Maul, the duel of Anakin's fate. Because at the time that happened, Qui-Gon was the only Jedi out of the whole council that was acting like a Jedi. He was he hadn't forgot that Jedi were supposed to care and love and show compassion, but the rest of the Jedi had lost their way. And Yoda started to see that at the end of episode 2. They'd become so political in this war that it actually moved away from what they actually were, peacekeepers and people that care about normal everyday people and love. And the thing is that well, yeah, when Qui-Gon died, Obi-Wan looked after Anakin because he had made this promise to Qui-Gon. But he didn't really care about Anakin. He just, even in Phantom Menace, he said, is this just another, useless life form that we're picking up in reference to Jar Jar because Obi-Wan didn't like Jar Jar. But yeah, I think if Qui-Gon had stayed alive, none of the events following Order 66 would have ever happened because Qui-Gon would have been the father figure that Anakin never had. And the fact Obi-Wan and Anakin were great friends, but Obi-Wan wasn't the father that Anakin needed. Qui-Gon was.
I totally agree.
I totally agree. That was really powerful. But unfortunately, I have to get going. There's a lot going on here. It's getting a little crazy. My internet's having some problems, and I don't want to lose the stream, but it appears that I'm having some kind of internet problem connection, and I don't want to lose you guys. I hope you guys will come on again because I really, really want to do this again. So I mean, I hope we can get this together. This has been fantastic. You guys have meant so much to me. I mean, I could say it over and over again. So I hope that you guys will check out Tommy Juice. Great gamer, great streamer. Is going to be doing some new stuff on his channel. Be doing some videos, some reactions. Check him out if you haven't already. You don't know what you're missing. And All About Nerd, come on. I mean, you're missing 2 great gamers, videos. You have a lot of fun on both these channels. I wouldn't send you there if I didn't love these people, and they're not terrific. But they are. Oh, wait a minute. Are we going to get a song before we leave? Is that what we're getting? Are we getting a song?
Wait, this is the end of the Spider-Man game.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to do it, but I will do it again in the future, Rob, because I know you've been wanting a studio version of that song. But
yeah, I do. All right, everyone. I have to get going, but I love you all. Thank you so much for coming here. I really thank you for the donation, by the way. I really appreciate it. It's very nice of you. Bye. Hope we do it again soon, man. Everybody be well, and thanks for coming so much. I love you all. Thank you for your support. Take care, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you very much for having me, Rob. Take care, Rob.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming.
It was fun. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Take care. Thank
you. Bye.
Bye.
Cheers, guys. Take care.
Thank you.